Okay, here goes. Okay, so picture this. It's like 2 a.m. And I'm sitting in my car outside this old gas station. It looks like it's been abandoned since like the 90s. And I'm exhausted and I'm stressed. And I'm doing that thing where I'm like staring at the wheel, like it's gonna give me the answers to my life. And I remember thinking, how the hell did I even get here? And that's kind of where the story starts. Because addiction, people talk about it like this giant dramatic moment. Like you wake up one day and boom, your life is falling apart. But it's really not like that. It's slow. It's sneaky. It's like someone turning the dimmer switch down on your life so gradually that you don't even notice that you're sitting in the dark. I didn't really understand that until I watched one of my closest friends go through the same thing. I'm not going to use their real name, obviously, so let's just call him Alex. But Alex was someone who you look at and think, they're fine. They're doing great. He was funny, athletic, he was smart. He was the type of person who never seemed fazed by really anything. But the thing is, addiction, it doesn't care about how strong you look on the outside. And I remember this one night, we were just hanging out, chilling in my room, talking about school, work, whatever. And he said something that stuck with me. He said, I don't even like the way it makes me feel anymore. I just don't like how I feel without it. And that hit me. Because that's the real psychological trap. It's not about chasing a high. It's about trying to escape the low that keeps on building and getting heavier when you're off. And as I've learned more about this topic, this concept for this class, like conditioning and self-control, they start lining up with what I saw in real life. And through all this, it's like the brain just gets rewired. It's not just like he wants it, but he needs it. And the scariest part is how normal it starts to feel at the beginning. At first, I remember Alex used it just to relax. And then he would use it to sleep. And then he would use it to get through his stressful days. And then he started using it to get through his normal days. And before he knew it, he's not choosing it anymore. It was choosing him. And I didn't get that at the time. I kept saying stuff to him like cut back or just stop. But it wasn't that easy. Willpower wasn't the problem. His brain was literally being rewired. His system was getting hijacked every night, every time he used it. And then came the night in the car. He had called me out of nowhere. His voice was shaky. He was telling me he messed up and he didn't feel safe being alone. And I just drove. I didn't ask questions. I didn't lecture him. I didn't say anything except, I'll be there. When I pulled up to that gas station, he was sitting on the curb and he had his hood on and his hands were shaking and his drawstrings were tied. And for the first time, I saw the fear. It wasn't the fear of getting in trouble. It was his fear of himself. Fear of what his brain was telling him to do. He was scared he wasn't able to stop anymore. And that's when addiction stopped just being a chapter in a textbook for me. It actually became real. Something tangible, messy, human. Something that doesn't care about logic or good intentions or routine. Something that pulls people apart from the middle, from the inside. But here's the part I really want you to hear. People don't come back from addiction because of shame or lectures. It just doesn't work. They come back because someone sits with them at the gas station at 2 a.m. They come back because they're reminded they still matter to somebody. They come back because connection lights things back up when the world has gotten dim. Alex ended up getting help after that night. And it wasn't perfect. It wasn't clean. And it wasn't quick. But he tried. And that's really what recovery is. Trying again and again and again, even when your own brain is screaming at you just to give up. And honestly, this experience as a whole, it changed me. It made me feel like what I was learning for this class was less like a theory and more like an understanding. like finally seeing what's underneath the surface of people's choices. So yeah, I mean, this is my little story time, I guess. A real moment that shaped how I think about addiction, how I think about people, and how I think about the things we fight silently every single day. Addiction isn't who someone is. It's where they are. And where can change, especially when someone doesn't have to fight alone.